Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. The first item on the agenda is the minutes. I know that all the members of the board have been provided copies of the minutes. I guess having said that, I'd like to have a motion to not read the minutes, as you've all seen them before.
I'll make it.
Anybody make a motion?
Second.
Okay, Connie, a second.
And a motion to approve.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so we're waiving the reading of the minutes.
No, wait, motion to approve the minutes.
Now we're gonna do that.
Okay.
Again, you've all seen the minutes. Anybody have any comments, any interest in changing any of the items in the minutes?
Make the motion, we approve the minutes.
Seconded?
I second.
Tony? All approved? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Carried in unanimously. First item of business, we have a new member. It's been a while. Ever since Louis Shows sold his house and moved away from Brandywine, which I believe was like last March, Brandywine hasn't had a representative. And a couple months ago, Donna Fleming, along with her husband Homer, who I think has only lived here about a year now.
It'll be a year next month.
Okay. She has come forth and volunteered to represent the Brandywine community. So we welcome her.
Welcome.
Yeah, I just think every community should be represented. You know, we should be a board of 13, not 12 or 11 or whatever. And I know it can be cumbersome for some people, so I really appreciate her stepping forward. Okay. Under new business, Lee Cobb from Amherst has made a request to speak. So at that time, I'd like her to identify herself and say what she has to say.
Is that now?
That's now.
As you will be aware, or those of you that are on the board will be aware, anybody else, maybe you should be aware. I have now issued an ADR with the view to proceeding to a lawsuit against the association if an agreement cannot be reached in mediation. Given the untrue rumours circulating about me within the community, I do hold little hope an agreement will be reached, and as such the association will be brought into an unnecessary lawsuit. My new attorney is very confident with the evidence, the documents and the photographs that I have. As a board, it is the duty of the association to notify your insurance company of pending litigation. I would hope that all board members are clear on what is expected of the whole board and not just that of the president. My attorney feels confident I will be making the association responsible for my costs, your costs and whatever is awarded over and above. Please keep in mind that depending on how the lawsuit is worded will then depend on whether the insurance policy provides cover. If the insurance policy does not provide cover, the association themselves are responsible for all legal fees and any awards. It is your responsibility as an association board member to ensure the right thing is done for the community. Personal opinions should not come into this, and you should not have rose-tinted glasses when making decisions based on what is best for the community. Today, only one person from this board has come to ask me what and why. Only one board member has shown me any compassion when I was dealing with my previous neighbours, who incidentally listed their property for sale after 20 years in the Amherst community, 11 days after they were shown my evidence against them in the lawsuit that they issued against me. They have subsequently dropped the lawsuit, covered my costs and moved on. The association has the responsibility to ensure many things, my safety in my own home, to not selectively enforce rules, to not pick and choose which rules are enforced and which are not. I would ask the question whether all covenants are enforced within HRN or just some. If your answer is just some, there in itself is my case against the HRN. If the association enforces certain rules for certain communities, and other sub-communities are not forced to follow the same, that again is my case against the HRN. Spreading rumour and tainting my reputation within the community is again my case against the association, and interestingly, not covered by any insurance policy. I see in front of me a board who is totally trusting of one man. Apart from one, none of you have attempted to contact me at any point. As an elected board member, you volunteered to be on this board, and as such it is your fiduciary responsibility as a board member to ask questions and investigating. After reviewing many documents within the association's records, we are incredibly confident in the case against the association. At this point, I want my attorney's fees paid, my $900 back from the $1,000 fine that I paid, $950 in late fees from the request of information failures, and for Amherst not to be the victim of mindless selective enforcement that we have seen today. If this agreement can be reached, I will not proceed to a lawsuit. If it cannot, the figures will be vast in comparison. There ends my statement.
Okay. All right. Okay, moving on.
Oh, wait, can you explain to us what this is? I'm kind of confused. I don't know what actually happened. Can you tell us what's going on, Matt?
Bob, I can't. As part of the agenda, as Lee Cobb has just said, she filed a lawsuit against the association.
No, I haven't.
The precursor to that is the mediation. Okay, you filed that, correct?
I filed an
Correct.
ADR. I have
All
not
right, so
filed
you did that.
a lawsuit.
Right.
Right.
And at the advice of our legal counsel, I cannot comment respective to what our defense is. Okay? I will be happy to sit down individually with members of the board and discuss it. But it's not open for public discussion.
I'm confused. I really am. With
I'm
what's going
sorry
on.
you're confused.
I'm absolutely confused, and I want to get a
Bob,
full understanding.
Bob, we're not going to address it any further. Okay? I can't, Bob. Okay. Moving on. A couple things we need to make sure we address properly. As you know, in March, the directors from Lexington Wood, Charlton on the Green, Williamsburg, and Franklin Wood are all up for renewal, election. Okay. I know we've sent out some information to those communities about the process, and I'm hoping everybody will move forward and that we'll have decisions made by those communities come March. Okay. Anybody continues to have any questions?
I have a question about
feel
that.
free.
Why is Amherst on that list? Because the idea was that the present representative would only be in place for 1 year.
No, they're in place for the remainder of the
No,
term.
that was not the agreement.
Again,
and
Bob,
it was not based.
Barry, I don't know what your agreement is. That's the way it is.
Well, I'm just saying to you, it wasn't the agreement, and this is.
Who agreed to that?
Sorry, hold on a second.
All right, we're going to move on. Barry,
The
I'm not going to talk
Amherst
to you as a
Board-
member of the community. This is a board meeting. Okay?
Well, I understand that, but you have the right to ask questions at a board meeting.
You have the right to be on the agenda to ask questions. You may know
Oh,
inquiry
For
as being on
dear's
the
sake,
agenda.
let's not start with semantics.
It's not
You're
semantics.
supposed to be serving the good of the community.
I think we are.
And also, I have a question about your use of legal funds to carry out a personal vendetta. Also, I would like to know why legal funds are being used in relationship to the storage area when it doesn't concern the entire HRN.
I have no response because quite frankly, your questions are unfounded. Okay?
Hold on, okay, then correct me if I'm wrong. From the budget, how much was spent on legal fees regarding the proposed storage area on US 1 that some of the Lexington residents had concerns about?
I don't have a number. It's a very, very small number, if there's a number.
I can help
We
you
were
with that.
notified
$1.5
through our
million.
attorneys from the county respective to that project. That's about the extent of it. They're not involved in any kind of legal action respective
No,
to
no,
it.
no, I'm not talking about legal
Barry, I'm done
action.
talking to you about this, okay? It's done.
All right, that's
Okay.
good. I'm glad
All right,
this is
moving on.
being recorded.
Yeah.
Because
That's
you're
fine.
being extremely rude to
I know,
our
and
residents.
you're talking out of
I'm
turn.
asking question, Matt.
You didn't ask prior to the meeting to
I
be
came
put
in
on
and
the
I signed
agenda.
a sheet.
You didn't put it, you didn't contact us prior.
Well, what's a sign-in sheet for
That was
questions?
for Lee Cobb. It has her name on it.
It's
correct.
not very clear.
What's not clear? It's got her name, address. a
No, it's
spot for
not
her
very clear
signature.
that people can't ask a question.
We'll put it on February board.
Everybody has the right to speak for at least 3 minutes at board meetings.
As long as you come forward ahead of time.
You're only doing that
and
to
notify
protect
us.
your backside.
If you say so, Barry.
Yeah, no, I'm
and
trying to be reasonable, Matt.
And
But
it's
that's
hard.
all right. Go ahead. Keep on
Thank you.
going.
We'll put
Thank
it on
you.
the February
Keep on
meeting.
going.
Thank you. Okay. All right. All right. Let's go. Moving on, just keeping in mind, by the way, too, that in March, we do have our election of officers. I do believe there's gonna be some vacancies, and I think we've discussed it in the past. So I want everybody to keep an open mind respective to that, okay? Just food for thought, okay? Don't want anybody to be surprised, all right? Okay. But last time on the agenda, or other than the adjournment, respective to the mediation, pursuant to what we previously discussed, we are gonna go to a mediation hearing on February 1st. Okay, the mediator is a guy named Ryan Cowell. It's been agreed on by us, our insurance company, and Ms. Cobb. In order for us to participate, there's a resolution in your packet. What we're looking to do is designate 3 individuals, and it would be myself, Joe Judas, and Paul Mallon, to act on behalf of the board, respective to the mediation, basically empowering us to act on behalf of the board for any decisions that are made or need to be made. Okay? Any questions about the resolution? Yeah?
Do you expect the mediation to go on more than that one session, or is that going to be determined that day?
It's a first for me, so what we need to do is, the mediator charges for 4-hour minimum, okay? We're splitting the cost with the plaintiff. And it's a mediation. It's not, it's a part of the process in the state of Florida. There's an intent here that we're gonna come to some agreement, some settlement, and that'll put an end to the conflict, if you will. It's not required. There may be nothing, okay? So having said that, that's when you go to the second part, that's when we would move on to an actual lawsuit, I believe, okay? So this is just the precursor to that. We have to participate, and we will. Okay. As I said also, by the way, I know I'm not sharing any details. Obviously, I have a pretty thick packet from the Cobb with their complaint, addressing it. Obviously, I've shared it with our attorneys, with the insurance company's attorneys. But for me to talk about it here in the presence of Ms. Cobb would be appropriate. As I said, I've been advised by the legal counsel not to really discuss it, okay? So, but anybody, any individual board member, small group individuals want to talk about it, I'd be happy to talk about it, okay?
If, after our adjournment,
Yeah.
are you still intending to have the board participate?
I don't intend to do that today. I'm prepared to talk to people individually between now and the 1st of
Okay.
February, whenever you'd like. It's cumbersome. It's a hard read. okay?
Oh, absolutely.
So-
I just, on
so-
the original minutes,
Right.
we discussed having a discussion among the board members.
Right.
After the meeting.
Right.
Is that still on the agenda?
For today, no.
Okay.
And again, a lot of it has to do with what I'm being advised to do.
Okay.
Okay. Having said that, could I have somebody make a motion to adopt the resolution that you have in front of you?
I'll make a motion to
Deborah,
adopt the
second?
resolution.
You seconded it?
Kevin? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carried unanimously. I'm gonna make a quick statement, if I may, just so that you understand a little bit where I'm coming from. I've spoken both our attorney and the attorneys assigned to by the insurance company. Both have remarked that they believe the suit is without merit. I believe the suit is BS being brought forward by an individual who is irresponsible and reckless. Lee Cobb has repeatedly disregarded association rules and covenants. She refuses to take ownership for her failures. Ms. Cobb routinely makes false accusations and distorts the truth. Lee Cobb is the plaintiff, not the defendant, in the legal action. I am confident that once concluded, the association will be fully exonerated. Okay, that's my personal belief. All right. Anybody else on the board have anything to comment about?
I have a question.
Yeah.
This lawsuit,
Yep.
does it, she's a member, she lives in Amherst?
Yes.
Is it against the board at Amherst or the Amherst Association and Heritage Ridgemont?
No.
No. And do you know why?
I think that's something that we need to talk about privately.
Gotcha.
Anything else? That being said, can I have a motion to adjourn? Kevin? Second? All? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, everyone.
Take your stuff, keep this, and fill it next time. And if you take this home like I have, you'll get a new one. I know.
I'll leave it.
Yeah, exactly. It took me a while to figure that out. I'm Deborah. Well, that was the biggest meeting, so. Yeah, and they're not typically. Yeah.